evening, and also Mary Harvey, the Director of Violence Transformed. My name is Eric Rao. I am the President of Piano Crowd Gallery. We are a 501c3 nonprofit gallery run by all volunteers, which is something amazing that we can do this level of programming with volunteer board of directors. We're going to be celebrating our 50th year at Piano Craft Gallery this year, so we are kicking off our exhibition schedule. We're kicking off our exhibition schedule with the Violence Transformed show. I just want to acknowledge the hard work and labor that our volunteer board of directors does to keep this space going. We have 18 exhibitions scheduled this year, and they are put on by a team: Kamal Ahmad, who's here this evening, Frederica King, who's here this evening, Rebecca Green, Jamal Bonet, Althea Bennett, Jeffrey Nolan, Tajne Silcott, and Herbie Furman, who made the amazing playlist this evening based on all the artwork in this show, which is really fantastic. So that's going to be on our Spotify page if anyone wants to revisit that playlist at another time. This is our second year working with Violence Transformed, and it has been an amazing second year. I first met Mary about 2 years ago when we started working on last year's show, which was titled What's Going On? And the thing I love about Violence Transformed and the work that everyone does with that organization is that they bring in a wide array of socially engaged artists. That's something that is totally unique to them. What I love about their shows is that we've had 12 months in between, but the work is totally different, and it has to do with our news cycle, what's going on in this world. Unfortunately, some of the themes remain. There are things that are still social justice issues that need to be addressed. So there is that continuity and through line between the shows, but it's interesting to see how this one differed so drastically from our last one, which has been great. The other thing I want to say about Violence Transformed is that everybody who's involved with this organization comes with the utmost amount of compassion, care, kindness, and just dedication. And that's totally unique to this group as well. And a lot of that is because Mary Harvey has been involved the last many years, and she has brought these people together, and she has developed this organization into what it is today, and it's an honor to have her here tonight. With that being said, I do want to introduce our curators for this show. Colgan B. Johnson is here this evening. Hakim Raquib is here this evening as well. And unfortunately, Ellen Jacob was not able to make it, but she's here in spirit with us this evening. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Colgan for the next portion.
Word. Thank you. You're welcome.
Happy Friday, folks.
Happy Friday!
Thank you. That's what's up. All right, so I want to give a shout out to Ellen really quick because she is amazing. So I'm going to read her bio. Please just listen to that, and then we'll go from there. Ellen Jacob is an award-winning artist-photographer, curator, and educator whose practice is rooted in social justice. Her work has been exhibited both nationally and internationally, including the FIF International Festival of Photography in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, and the 5th Biennial in Barcelona, Spain, Marin Museum of Contemporary Art, University of Richmond Museums, and SITE, Brooklyn. She is a recipient of a Lower Manhattan Cultural Council grant and a Ford Foundation grant. She is a Josephine Herrick teaching photographer, taught at San Francisco Art Institute, and is a member of Soho Photo Gallery in New York City. In 2020, she founded the Art Justice Cohort, a group of diverse artists who believe art creates change. She holds a BFA with honors from Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for listening, but also shout out to Ellen because she did amazing work. Please give it up. Now, I also got to give a huge thank you to my friend and mentor right here, Mr. Hakim Raquib. He's a master artist and photographer. Please give him a round of applause because he is amazing and he will now tell you that. Now, you've seen the artists come up here. I'll mention a few names, but this is in no way in disrespect to anybody I don't mention. There are a couple of names. I could name all of them, but that wouldn't be the case, all right? I want to give a shout out to Tanya's working back to me because it's truly beautiful. We got Ron, we got Patricia, we got Gary, Linda, Campbell, as well as Renee. Yeah. Lamershi. And honestly, my fault. Artists, could you one more time just step up in front of me? Because you deserve that. Please. Every artist, please come up here. Please give these people a round of applause. For this call, truly amazing, but their art is spectacular. So I'm going to be quiet. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. It's Friday in January. It's cold, and you all came out. So I think that truly speaks to the power of James Baldwin, but the power of art. There are many folks who can speak better and do a much better job than I can. Thank you for supporting them, and I'm just humbled to give them a stage that they can show their amazing work. The artist, please.
Good evening, everyone. And is it still echoing? Because I can be really loud. Is it better this way? No? Okay. I do want to read. My name is Ann Hernandez. I'm the co-chair of the Advisory Board for Violence Transformed. And I get emotional because I've been around Mary now over 20 years.
Over 20, it's a lot longer than that there.
But before I introduce her, I do want to read this original piece by one of the curators, Colgan Johnson, about James Baldwin. It's his message. That's why we are here, right? It's the truth, straightforward, that you might not want but need to hear. It's the love, the struggle, and ultimately the courage to face it. Whatever it was, that conflict, that hateful it, that ambiguous, sneaky it, once it revealed itself, and that big, old, ugly elephant, especially that one, and do it triumphantly. That is why we celebrate. We often hear words are powerful, but it is something when the words are actually felt. Same letters, but there's something different to them. These words make things happen. Art gets made, people move, patterns shift, communities might turn into movements. A voice is able to break through. And here's some of James Baldwin's quotes. One has to look at oneself as the custodian of a quantity and a quality, oneself, which is absolutely unique in the world because it has never been here before and it will never be here again. Where the people can sing, the poet can live. And it is worth saying it the other way around too. Where the poet can sing, the people can live. And not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. And it almost feels like it all flows because I met Mary, I think I was a year and a half out of graduate school.
That's right.
And
Mere child.
actually she asked me during supervision, is there anything you want me to stop doing? I said, stop calling me a baby. And
No.
she stopped. But it was, I get emotional because I did not think I was going to get that job. When you get out of school and you're like, let me just take a chance and see if I get that job. it was to run the community crisis response team out of the Cambridge Health Alliance. And I thought, oh, that's a big job for someone who just got out of grad school. But from day one, she made me feel like, I know why I hired you. You know, it's, I think I was younger than Eric, so I figured that's why she called me the baby. But it was such an honor to be around such brilliance, and someone who is so down to earth, who truly helped me to grow, not only as a clinician, but as a person, to grow professionally and to grow personally, and to be aware of the task at hand and the responsibility of the job. And when she decided to retire and go back to school as a young lady, and get and study art, and then have a conversation about violence transformed, which she will give you a little bit more of what it was like. But it's been amazing to sit at her living room many times and be the ideas floating and then watching them become something. That is like unbelievable. Unbelievable. So a couple of years ago when she decided she didn't want to do this anymore and tapped Phil and I to
Where's Phil?
Phil Harvey
Run by another mother.
to put together an advisory board that can usher in a transition to the new leadership. I mean, I knew then I was going to do this all the way through because you deserve that. And the world deserves to have violence transformed to continue to go on. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legend. Mary Harvey.
Very good. So people, I don't want to say a lot. You can learn all of you need to know about Violence Transformed by going to our website, www.violencetransformed.com. There are some thank yous I want to say. And the one thing I want to say about Violence Transformed is I want you to look around. Look around at the people who are here tonight. Look at the work. Check out the fact that collectively, we are different colors, we are different races, we are different genders, we have different professions, we do things differently, we have different orientations, and here we are. Here we are looking at work created by a phenomenal group of artists. And we're here to celebrate what they collectively represent, which is the power of art to truly change the world. And if there's a reason for celebrating James Baldwin, it's because nobody said it better than James Baldwin. It's not just about, it is about facing it, but it's also about being open to possibility and open to change. And my hope is that we're all about that, and that Violence Transformed will last because it ought to last. So with that, I want to introduce my son, Eric Harvey, who managed to get my butt here tonight. I want to thank Ron Williamson, who's not only a presenting artist, but the author of the poster. I want to thank so many people here. I can't name you all, you know I can't. I'd screw it up and then be embarrassed, so I'm not going to do that. But I do want to say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for Yvette. Thank you, Lord, for Jen Tia, who will take this baby and move it forward. And thank you to Mark. Where are you, Mark? Yeah, Mark Gottlieb, who is the head of PHAI, and is also the guy who told me, Baldwin has been my favorite writer for years, but it was Mark who told me that this is his 100th year. So we have the 50th year of the Piano Craft Gallery and the 100th year of James Baldwin to celebrate, and we have a transition from me to Yvette. Let's celebrate.
To move on, we're going to have Lamercy Frazier. It's like between the lights and the
Why don't
echo.
we just move the chair and you can get up there? Right?
Too near the speaker.
And Barbara Ham, who will speak about some of the programs in violence transformed.
Well, what an honor on this celebration of 100 years of James Baldwin, we get to honor one who, in his words, has coined the phrase moral credit. Mary Harvey, in her relationship to other people, has earned her moral credits, unlike America. So in the process of going forward, I'd like to thank Mary for Violence Transformed, for the first exhibit that she put on at the State House with Edmund Barry Gaither, and inviting us in to share in her message. Violence Transformed having been this very unique organization that allows people to talk about social issues through the power of art, through the extraordinary work of, as we see in this array of many genres, the positioning of people who might not have a voice otherwise in art, and it being received as a dialogue, as a conversation that might not be so effective in the black and white piece of paper. So we are very grateful to Mary for bringing these opportunities over the years, and also for her faith in us as artists, as a clinician. I think of her as a psychological scientist. Barry Gaither calls her the ever-ready bunny, who is always energized. She's created this organization, or this program that Barbara and I have the opportunity to lead, called TAP, Transformative Action Project, under Violence Transformed. And it has two components that address, one, mindfulness, and secondly, art making, to get to the core of what may be an issue of violence, crisis, and trauma. I'm going to turn, I'm Director of Creative Engagement with the TAP program, and I'm going to turn the mic over to Dr. Barbara Ham, who is its director in ways that bring us not only mindful training, but her expertise as a clinician.
Because the lights are pretty glaring. So, we've talked about the art exhibits and bringing artists together and the power of art to transform. But I actually want to speak to violence, because this is violence transformed. And the Transformative Action Project is an initiative of Violence Transformed to come home to the individual, to help us as people in groups and as individuals to find our way through violence using art, looking at art, and also mindfulness. So we're talking about the whole spectrum of violence. And we're here to celebrate, but we're also here because of the range and depth and prevalence of violent acts in the world that happen at individual, group, familial, and societal levels. And so we're trying to address all of that. And in the workshops that we do, we don't want to shy away from recognizing that that's happening. So in the words of James Baldwin, we want to face it, we want to name it, we want to be able to find our way through it. So what does mindfulness have to do with this? Well, mindfulness, for those who don't know, is really simply bringing awareness to the present moment and doing it without judgment, and sort of recognizing our common humanity, that we have more in common, that we're more alike than we are different. And so when Lamerci and I are working together, Lamerchi is using art as a way to be an antidote to some of the felt experience of violence. We know that violence limits our activities. We are less spontaneous, we're more vigilant. We hunker in or we go out without awareness. But the art making, particularly the art making that Lamerchi does, reminds us that we're more than whatever that experience is. That we have the capacity for joy and for play and for uplift. But that doesn't come naturally unless you feel you can manage those feelings that get in the way of that. So that's where the mindfulness comes in, to really begin to help people recognize, to be attentive to be aware of what they're feeling in their body, what they're feeling in their heart, what they're feeling in their mind, to be able to have a way to meet that allows them not to be it, but to be more than that, to name things, to face it, to work with it, to not yield to it, but to create it into something new that has vitality. So that's the work that we do. And I just want to mention, recently I've been doing more nature-based mindfulness, and I want to bring that to the fore because I invite you all to be in the out of doors, to connect with all living beings. So when you don't feel comfortable with yourself or your neighbor or the person across the street or somebody else, you can go out and be with other living beings that share the same earth, that breathe the same air, that there's a reciprocity and a way of really realigning yourself through doing that. So, in accompanying some of our art exhibits, and this one in particular, I will be offering a mindful practices in the gallery where we'll be finding works that mean something to us, and we'll be thinking along the themes of impermanence and change and renewal, and then also taking a walk outside, snow, storm. If it's not too great, to really feel the snow, the weather, the elements, our inner and outer natures. And then Lamerchi at the closing will be offering a workshop using collage, I think. So you can learn more about this by going to the website. But I just wanted to close with another quote from James Baldwin. He has so many, we could be here all night, everybody could offer theirs. This one is, "For nothing is fixed forever and forever. It is not fixed. The earth is always shifting, the light is always changing, the sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out." So look around, as Mary asked you to look around, meet one another, face them, offer them your gratitude and appreciation.
I do want to recognize that we have two other members in Violence Transformed who are here. Mark Gartley, who is with the Public Health Advocacy Institute at Northeastern, and Amanda is here she is also a part of CAP and keeps us straight. She's one of our neighbors. I just wanted to raise their names because the work that we're doing, funded by MOVA, the Office of Victims Assistance, has been really rewarding. Even during COVID, we did, I'm sure, over 100 workshops in virtual space. So look out for us. We want to keep our operation going, and we welcome the directors that are coming on to Violence Transform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara and Archie. As I mentioned earlier, this is not just the 50th anniversary of the Piano Craft, which we are unbelievably grateful that you let us be here and that you're collaborating with Violence Transformed. It's the 100th anniversary of James Baldwin's birth. Mary is moving on from being
Director to beloved advisor.
from being the badass director that she was and she is to beloved badass advisor. To two individuals that we spend a lot of time just thinking and really trying to figure out who can take the torch and take Violence Transformed to the next level. The interim director for Violence Transformed is a dear friend whom I've known for over 20 years. Good Lord, time is flying. And I met Yvette as an intern, when I was an intern at Children's Hospital, my second year of grad school. And ever since then, we connected. And when Mary asked us to put together an advisory board, I was like, let me ask Yvette. Because, not only is she an amazing poet, writer, activist, but an amazing artist. And a very dear friend. Her and I connected on our being Black Latinas in Boston, trying to figure out what the deal is and why people were trying to figure out who are you and what are you. I'm like, yeah, I'm Black, yeah, I do speak Spanish. It happens to a whole lot of us. So I think her and I connected on that. We connected on being immigrants. Yvette's from Panama, I'm from the Dominican Republic. We connected in people, our own people going, you don't look this, and trying to find our place in this new country, but yet not lose who we are. Sometimes I have to remind people, that when they try to take my Black card, I have to remind them that I am an immigrant, and then maybe I don't know what they're talking about, and they're gonna have to educate me on that. But it's always amazing to have those conversations and to connect that way. So I want to introduce to you the new interim director of Creative Director Violence Transformed, Yvette Modestin.
Wow. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes. First and foremost, giving thanks to those whose shoulders we stand on. And I didn't write anything because I wanted to go with where Spirit took me tonight. Because I feel like I landed in this position because Spirit took me there. First, Mary, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I happen, because I've known Ann for as long as I have, I also knew Ann when she got that job. And what a lot of people don't know is that I have a clinical background. I worked at Children's. I was one of the first trauma responders in the streets of Boston as the bilingual, bicultural advocate for the trauma response team. So I have that piece. But why is taking this position so important to me and why I feel it's a gift? Not just a gift from an art, but it's a gift from my dad. 3 years ago, my father passed away. Anniversary, January 15th coming up. And as a poet, I couldn't find my words anymore. The pain was too real to write. And I found myself getting up at 3:15, 4 in the morning and painting. My father guided me to the canvas. And now 3 years in, I have a house full of paintings that I didn't even know I had in me. So I come to this position not only as someone who believes in the work of the Violence Transformed, but I am Violence Transformed, because I am that artist, as Barbara was sharing, that had to find another way for her mind to understand the level of grief that no one prepares you for when your parents passed away. But I proudly stand and say I am a daughter of Felix Zachary Modestin, who raised me as a single man for 45 years after my mom passed away when I was 12 years old. So I am Violence Transformed, and I look forward to bringing that truth from all forms. Like Ann said, I'm a poet, I do a little bit of everything, and I plan to bring a little bit of all of that to this space. And my greatest wish for this position as a Black woman in Boston and today's society is to repair what has been done to us as Black people and people of African descent, and to use this as a way for Black artists to see each other.
Yeah.
And to know that we go beyond borders, we go beyond language, but at the end of the day, I am a Black woman. I'm just deeply proud to be Black. So I look forward to this journey, and Jen and I have already started working, so we're ready. You're ready. We're ready, Mary. So I want to introduce Jen Keok, who will be the administrative director of Violence Transformed. So we'll be doing this together. So I want to give her an opportunity to say a few words. So thank you, welcome, and we look forward to it.
I will be brief. There have been many beautiful people to listen to. I'll just say I've been blessed over the past 20 years to anchor a few different community cultural arts organizations using art and culture as a form of social change. And I am blessed to be here to partner with this incredible woman, to follow in the legacy of this incredible woman, to take this organization to its next chapter. And so I just want to ask you, if you have a glass, or if you don't, raise your real or imaginary glass, so that we can offer a toast to Mary and the legacy of Violence Transformed, and to the future and the next generation of the next chapter.
Thank you. And to round out this part of the program, we have an amazing spoken word artist, Amanda Shea. Amanda Shea is a two-time Boston Music Award-winning spoken word artist. Shea is an artist, performer, educator, activist, publicist, host, and curator. She co-founded and curated 6 iterations of Activated Artivism, a community festival to amplify POC through art, activism, and resistance. Her work can be found in the Museum of Fine Arts, the Boston Globe, TEDx Roxbury, Netflix, Prime Video, BBC News, and much more. I'd like you all to welcome Amanda Shea.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that pain. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. Do you really think you're in control? Social media apps got you losing reality. Didn't subscribe to desensitization, confusion, fake news, and all these comments. How do I cancel it before it cancels me? I thought this was a tool. Instead, I'm being drilled, picked at, and screwed over my thoughts, images in my image. When did this become high school? Snubbed for prom queen. The snob always wins, subbed in statuses. I remember the bathroom stalls marked up. Now it's bodies. Not like the subways in Harlem, body marked up like the subway in Harlem. Actual bodies. Everybody want to be a Barb and join a team. I still have PTSD. Watching George Floyd's death changed me, triggered me. How many triggers can be pulled without having to count the bullets? Brianna can't tell us. The neighbor's walls speak louder than her voice. Another black human silenced in the dead of night. Protect black women is a hashtag. We are conditioned to put a pound sign on tragedies. Maybe it should be a stop sign. Bright red so it can be read and not just seen, but we read people for filth. Full of negativity, I'm questioning myself. My vibration is too low, too slow to tap in on the bigger picture. Waves of hate can penetrate even the deepest of waters. With a 30-second soundbite, click then debate, it's faster than a chamber. Why aren't these monitored? Yo, Colgan, how long is a Facebook jail sentence anyway? Is this reality or a social experiment? A play of sorts, where you can be whatever character while being judged on your character. I hate it in this world. I lucid dream often, traveling vividly, opening portals that allow me to feel safe where accountability and evolution meet. The dark web doesn't lurk here. It's too busy trafficking children and women. In this realm, I'm surrounded by my own shadows. We don't play games, we go hard at work to build capes so big, made of Teflon, no cap, shells would bounce off. No puncture wounds or sharpened tongues could pierce me. I'd be at peace instead of overthinking about content. I'd be content with self. My emotions couldn't be altered by the pretentious constructs of how to live, be, and breathe. Competition in comparisons creates division. Common denominators, we calling people out instead of calling them in. DMs replacing conversations. No need to be direct. No desire to hit someone's line. People arguing, blogging, gossiping, rumors, unhealthy consumption, adopting trends that lose weight. Momentum dies, but not suicidal thoughts. Constant battle, turmoil, from turning to a device. Addicted, it's a vice that releases hormones that causes the body to react in pleasure. Twitter fingers racing like heartbeats, perpetuating ideologies of a system set up to destroy confidence in feelings. And guess what? It all comes at a price. You can't buy self-esteem from an ad or an app, but if you show ID, you can be verified. Blue check marks is your validation, unlocking it. All of us have super egos. We gotta keep our egos balanced. Take breaks and fast. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo. So much space. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. Do you really think you're in control? Do you? Social media. Thank y'all. My name is Amanda Shea. I just want to say thank you so much to Ron, to Colgan, to Yvette, likewise. I have a list. To Lamerchi, to Mary, to Barbara, oh my gosh, to Piano Craft Gallery, to Anneli, where are you? I'm so sorry I knocked your picture off the wall, but when spirit moves you, sometimes things just happen for a reason. So I don't question it. It did not break. I cleaned off off the wine that I spilled on it, but that's not a coincidence. I don't feel coincidences don't happen. In my mind, when I first came in here, I was so completely entranced with the energy in this space. This is a space for us. This is a space of commemorance. As Trey Andre said to me one day, we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors while we're also standing on their graves. And James Baldwin in the Face It is such an amazing, amazing memory of that. We are here to tell the truth and to be authentic. And just like the great Nina Simone said, it is our duty as artists to reflect the times in which we live in. So please give it up for every single artist in this space. Curators and the creators and all the effort that goes into this. It's not easy. I'm gonna go try to reinstall the artwork. My name. Thank you so much for having me. This is a blessing. And my name is Amanda Shea. You can find me on Instagram at Amanda Shea all day. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Amanda. That concludes. Can I get you for 1 second? Thank you so much. Just 1 more second so we can wrap it up. I know, I work at school, so I don't want to say if you hear my voice, clap one. If you can hear my voice, clap once. All right. Yeah, they're like having PTSD. So this concludes the sort of structure part of the evening. I do want to thank all of you for showing up when it's 30 degrees outside. I definitely cannot thank enough all the artists. Thank you. I am humbled by people who can pour out of their souls and put it on a canvas or make it come through a video or make it come through their bodies. I'm a dancer, so that's sort of that's how I express myself. But anybody who can paint, who can draw, who can sketch, who can look at images and put them on top of each other and make it seem like, whoa, I am amazed. And I can't even begin to tell you, each and every one of the artists showing tonight, how amazing it is to know that this is your soul. You know, I'm not one that believes in the starving artist. I really don't. Because why should you be starving while you feed our souls? So please do not internalize that any longer. Do what you need to do and demand what you need to demand, because we've taken enough from you. And you deserve to be the highest paid people. So thank you for being here tonight. For those who are coming to see, it's amazing to see all of you. Thank you for all of you who your work is on the walls. Please know that it's also now in our hearts and in our minds. And enjoy the rest of the time tonight. Thank you.